Hi guys, welcome to Real Street TV. I'm sure you are tired of talking about lockdown. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about lockdown. And we're going to talk about what are the lessons that we've learned during the lockdown period. Are there any silver linings that we are taking from this season of lockdown? CJ, I'm going straight to you. What do you think, man?
Look, I have spent 16 weeks of listening to government briefings, listening to public health, listening to the news and the global news about the pandemic, and I've been trying to listen to a variety of narratives, although the majority of narratives have been fairly negative. And look, there's no avoiding the loss of life. There's no avoiding some of the pressures that people have been put under financially. Economically, it's been very tough. But I want to be able to look at the way that we've changed in the last kind of 4 or 5 months and take away some really positive kind of changes in how we're treating people and how we're approaching our work. So I think often in times of crisis, there are a lot of people who understand how to pivot, how to find the silver linings out of a difficult situation. And often in those times as well, there are major advances, technological advances, life hack advances in terms of how we can do things better, how we can do things differently. So I just wanted to reflect on some of the very positive things that have come out of life under lockdown.
So for me, mine's not that deep actually. I was just thinking, I feel like one of the silver linings for me has just been time. I just feel like I've gained some time because lots of my busyness was automatically cut off when a lot of my work was cancelled, because obviously I work in theatre. So suddenly I've just had this massive time ahead of me. And, initially I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to improve my Spanish again. I'm going to do all this stuff. But actually it's made me slow down, and I've allowed myself just to have some space to do nothing. And, well, not completely nothing. I mean, things like listening to music. I've done more of that. And not just listening to a song, but listening to a whole album. And like even today, I was sat listening to Lisa Stansfield's album from 1991. I'm thinking, when was the last time that I listened to a whole album? Usually I just pick on a song or it's a mix or something. So I don't know, just space to kind of rediscover me and what I really love. That's been a silver lining.
Yo estoy aprendiendo español. Means I've been learning Spanish. I've been learning Spanish. I've actually been doing that during lockdown. I'm doing okay at it. But yeah, looking back at this period, I mean, another big thing that I've really benefited from is Zoom. Never heard of Zoom. Now use it all the flipping time. Flipping love it. But other silver linings that I think, I've tried to take from this season of lockdown is thinking about what's really important. So me and Pam, my wife, we slowed down. We really slowed down over lockdown because we were really busy. We'd go to work 9 to 5. We'd come home. Then we'd rush out. We'd be somewhere. I'd be playing football, or we'd go out dancing, or we'd go see a movie, or we'd go to the cinema, or we'd go see some friends. And then, Saturday comes, it's like, oh, can we have a day off? Can we chill? Whereas lockdown forced us to be in the house, to be together, to talk with each other, to spend time with each other, to go for our one mandated walk a day. So it really made us slow down. It's made us spend less money as well. These are not fancy things, by the way, CJ. Your ideas are much more mind-blowing than mine. But, these are some of the simple things that I think we've picked up during this season of lockdown. Not rushing around. We've really slowed down, and I think that's been really good. But here's another question for you. What are the words that you are sick of hearing during the season of lockdown? Because we did another video called...
That's so easy for me.
Can I just say unprecedented? If I never hear unprecedented again.
I was just going to say that one.
I've actually used unprecedented quite a lot in my text, so I apologise to anyone who's getting annoyed with that. But the phrase that's annoying me is getting back to normal, because I want to know what was so freaking good about normal. I think we need to be looking forwards
Yeah.
and learning from, you know, what have we done differently that actually does work. So, you know, I'm hearing a lot of people talking about how they've been so much more productive working from home, like, you know, not having to do the commute, being able to work in whatever, you know, work in whatever clothes, not having to get suited and booted every day. You know, all of those things that have actually made businesses work better than they were working before. And, you know, that's recognised. There are a lot of companies now that are actually, you know, closing down their offices and saying, right, from now on, we're all going to work at home. Now, there's equally companies that are saying, well, you know, in a few weeks' time, we can get back to normal. Well, actually, I think this has been an opportunity for people to reassess whether normal was really that good and whether or not we can do things a lot better in the future.
Yeah. I think for me as well, I mean, I was going to say unprecedented, but I was also thinking about when things are described as world class, because I think, you know, it doesn't matter what nation you're from, you know, how technologically advanced, everybody's been suffering at this time. And when you talk about world beating, world class, I mean, our track and trace is supposed to be world class, but where is it? So I just think that means something different now. And it should be, I don't know, a time for people to share things, not a time for countries thinking, you know, let's make us great. Let's make sure we're at the head of the curve. You know, let's reach out and support each other. And I hope some of that sticks. I hope it feels a bit more, you know, uneasy for people to be trying to be ahead now without considering how that impacts other people. I know that's a big hope, a big dream. But yeah, there's something about it, that thing about being ahead of everyone else that doesn't...
We should dream big. We should dream big.
We should be dreaming big, but we should also be dreaming big for others, I think. So, I mean, I'd heard about America trying to buy up most of this vaccine thing. And you think to yourself, come on, what are we doing to support each other? There are people doing research in other countries that will benefit us. We have some tech that will benefit others. There are other countries who have factories that could benefit others. How about we kind of start pooling things and seeing how we can support each other through this? So, yeah, something about world class and world beating. It's good to innovate, obviously, and I believe in that, but not at the expense of other people, not to get one over or to kind of keep, you know, try and keep our image up. I think the time of kind of maintaining appearances should be over.
Well, one other thing I just wanted to say was, you know, at the start of lockdown, there was a massive kind of eco narrative that, you know, the planet needed lockdown. It needed the pandemic to stop people using the roads, to stop people using their cars, to reduce our carbon footprint. But actually, that is a very dangerous way to think in terms of, you know, we can justify the 500,000 or so people that have died because we need to save the planet. And I think that kind of thinking is a little bit callous, because that's a mighty heavy price to pay. Every one of those lives is somebody's loved one, somebody that, you know, possibly could have been saved had we dealt with this differently. But, you know, I definitely think there are things that we can learn from, you know, having to do things differently, having to look at things and relook at our priorities. And I wish that when I turned on the evening news, it wasn't just about the RA or the second wave or how we're dealing with, you know, trying to reboost the economy. I wish it was kind of highlighting some of those really kind of clever and creative and innovative approaches that people have had to take to make sure that we can do things better, that we can stay healthy, that we can communicate better. So, yeah, I just think there are lots of silver linings. Everyone just needs to take a breath and think about the silver linings.